The newest and most handsome of the Buddha's monastic disciples was Ananda. He had eyes as clear as lotus blooms and a face as radiant as the full moon. He was highly intelligent as well. He would never forget what the Buddha had said after hearing it. Ananda once encountered Matanga, a young servant girl, as he was returning from collecting alms. Ananda requested some water from her because he was thirsty. Matanga was overjoyed and kindly extended a hand and glass of water to Ananda. Ananda gave her a courteous nod of appreciation rather than showing her any disrespect. Ananda's charm and grace captured Matanga, who was incredibly appreciative of his kindness. She watched as Ananda finished his drink and went away, her heart bursting with love and adoration for him. From that point on, Matanga lured Ananda in numerous ways. Matanga would be ecstatic and closely trail Ananda whenever he emerged from Jetavana Monastery. She remained extremely nearby even though Ananda tried to separate himself. Because Ananda believed she had no shame, she frequently went back to the monastery before gathering enough alms. The rain retreat, during which the Buddha and his followers would stay inside the monastery, was about to begin. Matanga awaited the retreat's conclusion for 3 months, and when Ananda reappeared to collect alms, she immediately trailed behind him. Ananda was powerless. He knelt before the Buddha when he got back to the monastery and stated, "Lord Buddha, a woman named Matanga is attempting to seduce me. She travels with me everywhere. Lord Buddha, kindly assist me in escaping from her." "Ananda, why does a woman render you helpless?" the Buddha grinned. "This is a result of your overemphasis on listening and learning and underemphasis on practice and upholding moral principles." As directed, Ananda left the house and discovered Matanga pacing aimlessly in front of the entrance. When she approached him, Ananda questioned, "Why do you always follow me around? I was prepared to give you my entire heart, but you left without saying anything. We are both youthful and lovely, you and I. I want you to delight in life's pleasures because I will always adore you. My teacher, the Buddha, would like to visit you," Ananda replied a little hesitantly. "The Buddha will decide what is right for me if you follow me." When Matanga learned that the Buddha would make a choice, she reacted with courage and shame. She traveled to the Buddha's residence with Ananda. The Buddha addressed her directly, "Would you like to marry Ananda?" "Yes," Matanga said, bowing her head and placing her hands in front of her chest. "Yes," Matanga said, bowing her head and placing her hands in front of her chest. "The parents must approve of a guy and a woman getting married. Could you invite your parents to come in and talk about it? My mother has met Ananda, and my parents have granted their consent. I can bring my mom here right away from home if you don't trust me." Matanga traveled from her house to the Jetavana Monastery with her mother. "My mother is coming to pay honor to you, Lord Buddha," she remarked as she bowed before the Buddha upon her return. "Have you given your agreement for your daughter to become a nun and then she may marry Ananda?" The Buddha then questioned the mother. "Do you concur?" "It's fine with me," Matanga's mother replied. "This would make me very happy. You may now go home, and your daughter will stay with us," the Buddha then commanded. The Buddha instructed Matanga after her mother had left, "Since you are to marry Ananda, you must first become a nun and practice assiduously. I'll officiate at your wedding once your practice is as refined as Ananda's." Matanga gladly shaved her head and colored her robes because she was about to wed Ananda. She dutifully followed the Buddha's instructions and listened intently to his teachings. Like the rest of the Sangha, she led a life in accordance with the teachings in the monastic community. Daily, Matanga's thoughts become more peaceful. She finally understood that her former attachment to love was essentially disgusting behavior. The Buddha frequently professed that all suffering originated from the impurity of the 5 wants. Only a foolhardy moth would jump into the flames and get burned. The unskilled silkworm would create a cocoon and be restrained. I shall always move in the direction of the truth by following your lead. I'll follow your instructions and spread the truth. The Buddha said, "Very well, Matanga," grinning with joy. I was confident you would get to your current level of cultivation. You are incredibly smart. I won't have to worry about you anymore. I'm overjoyed for you. The amazing tale of Matanga's conversion spread like wildfire across the monastic world. Moral of the story is true love. What is it? Nothing else but guiding someone towards serenity and contentment is true love. In this story, we see how the Buddha uses Matanga's present-day desire to marry Ananta to lead her onto the road of enlightenment. This is an illustration of the Buddha is aware of Matanga's nature, wants, and capacity through his Buddha eyes. As a result, he is capable of using effective techniques or quick fixes to encourage individuals to willingly and joyously practice the Buddha law.